Hey there everyone, welcome back to Story Time with Jasper. I hope that you have all been doing well. I hope that you are now prepared to get comfortable, that you have, your favorite plushie somewhere next to you, or a pillow, or a blanket. I have pajamas on today to go with my slippers, my little tacos. I'm all set for a story. So, I hope that you are too. Whatever you need so you can be comfortable, go ahead and get that. Otherwise, we are going to jump right into our story. Isn't that right, Zilla? That's right. Let's get started, buddy. A classic story, but it's going to be retold and even illustrated, so we're going to get pictures, and that person that retold it is a fellow by the name of James Marshall, and our story is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And so this is a classic story, but we're going to go ahead and put our own fun twist on things as we go along. So, I hope you all enjoy. Let's go ahead and get our story started. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once, there was a little girl called Goldilocks. "What a sweet child," said someone in town. "That's what you think," said a neighbor. I wonder why she would say that. Doesn't Goldilocks look like a sweet child to you? One morning, Goldilocks' mother sent her to buy muffins in the next village. "You must promise not to take the shortcut through the forest," she said. "I heard that bears live there." "I promise," said Goldilocks. But to tell the truth, Goldilocks was one of those naughty little girls who do exactly as they please. You can even see she's taking the shortcut through the forest, saying things like, "Don't go this way." She's doing exactly as she pleases. Meanwhile, in a clearing deeper inside the forest, in a charming house all their own, a family of brown bears was sitting down to breakfast. Look at that nice little house. Family waking up in the morning, getting some breakfast together. That's so nice. "Patooey!" cried big old Papa Bear. "This porridge is scalding. I've burned my tongue." "I'm dying!" cried Baby Bear. "Now, really?" said Mama Bear, who was of medium size. "That's quite enough." Well, it looks like even though it's a pleasant morning and they're having breakfast together, the craziness of the day has already started with some very hot porridge. "I know," said Papa Bear. "Why don't we go for a spin while the porridge is cooling?" "Excellent," said Mama Bear. So they got their rusty old bicycle and off they went. So while the porridge is still really hot, they're gonna let it cool down by going on a bike ride. A few minutes later, Goldilocks arrived at the bear's house. She walked right in without even bothering to knock. On the dining room table were 3 inviting bowls of porridge. "I don't mind if I do," said Goldilocks, helping herself to the biggest bowl. Goldilocks just walked right in and now she's gonna have herself a snack. She wasn't invited. But the porridge in the biggest bowl was much too hot. "Patooey!" cried Goldilocks, and she spat it out. Next, she tasted the porridge in the medium-sized bowl. But that porridge was much too cold. Then Goldilocks tasted the porridge in the little bowl, and it was just right. Neither too hot nor too cold. In fact, she liked it so much that she gobbled it all up. Look at Goldilocks. She's just taken everybody's porridge and making such a big mess. How inconsiderate. Feeling full and satisfied, Goldilocks thought it would be great fun to have a look around. Right away she noticed a lot of coarse brown fur everywhere. There's a lot of coarse brown fur in the bear's house. "They must have kitties," she said. In the parlor, there were 3 chairs. "I don't mind if I do," she said, climbing into the biggest one. But the biggest chair was much too hard, and she couldn't get comfortable. So she's already making herself comfortable inside of their house. But that chair, it appears to be too hard for Goldilocks. Next, she sat in the medium-sized chair, but that chair was much too soft, and she thought she would never get out of it. Then Goldilocks sat in the little chair, and it was just right. Neither too hard nor too soft. In fact, she liked it so much that she rocked and rocked until the chair fell completely to pieces. Look at that. Two soft chairs, breaking chairs. What in the world, Goldilocks? That's pretty silly, huh, Zilla? Yes. Now all that rocking left Goldilocks quite tuckered out. I could take a little snooze, she said. So she went to look for a comfy place to nap. Upstairs, there were 3 beds. I don't mind if I do, said Goldilocks, and she got into the biggest one. But the head of the biggest bed was much too high. Look at her. It looks like she's on a slide, that bed is so high up. Next, she tried the medium-sized bed. But the head of that bed was much too low. Then Goldilocks tried the little bed, and it was just right. Soon she was all nice and cozy and sound asleep. She did not hear the bears come home. So she's all nice and snug in the tiny bed that was just right, but she doesn't hear that the bears have come home. The 3 bears were mighty hungry, but when they went in for breakfast, they could scarcely believe their eyes. Somebody has been in my porridge, said Papa Bear. Somebody's been in my porridge, said Mama Bear. Somebody has been in my porridge, said Baby Bear, and eaten it all up. Look at that. It's a huge mess. What is going on? In the parlor, the 3 bears were in for another little surprise. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said Papa Bear. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said Mama Bear. Somebody's been sitting in my chair, said Baby Bear, and broken it to smithereens. Oh no! One thing after another. What is going on for these bears? The 3 bears went upstairs on tiptoe, not knowing what they would discover. At first, everything seemed fine. But then Papa Bear lay down on his big brass bed. Somebody has been lying in my bed, he cried, and he was not amused. Does that look like the face of someone that is amused? It is not. That is not an amused face. Egads, cried Mama Bear. Somebody has been lying in my bed. Look, said Baby Bear. Somebody has been lying in my bed, and she's still there. Who could it be? Who could this possible person be that's inside of Baby Bear's bed? Now see here, roared Papa Bear. Goldilocks woke up with a start, and her eyes nearly popped out of her head. But before the bears could demand a proper explanation, Goldilocks was out of bed, out the window, and on her way home. Who was that little girl? Asked Baby Bear. I have no idea, said Mama Bear, but I hope we never see her again. So Goldilocks jumped out the window because she was startled by the bears. Look at that. She got out there very, very quick. And Mama Bear had said that she had hoped they never see her again, and they never did. The end. And that is a retelling of the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Now, when you are going about making your own story, remember, your story is special and unique, and everything that you do adds to your story. I hope that we're making good choices and being respectful of one another by not doing crazy things like Goldilocks did in this story. Going into other people's houses, eating their food without permission, trying out their own beds. That doesn't sound like a very respectful thing to do. So that's a very silly thing that was put in Goldilocks' story. So I hope today, when you are going about your story, when you're making your choices, that you're thinking about how it'll make your story a good story. Thank you very much for joining me with Storytime with Jasper. Zilla thanks you for coming by, and we hope to see you again in our next story. So, whatever you do today, make sure that you're making your story a good one. Take care, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.